You're listening to the Frame100 podcast, a show by Brickfilmers for Brickfilmers.
And welcome to the Frame100 podcast, where occasionally we try to scare you with films made of small plastic figures. You're listening to episode 15 of the show. I'm Chris, known as Gold Brick Productions, here with Trevor, aka Suited Ninja Nerd Studios.
Boo.
Sam, aka Locker74 Productions.
Trev, that was the worst boo I've ever heard.
And Marcus, aka Brick Hat Studios.
It's Marcus! Oh.
That was easily the scariest of the three intros.
I was trying to go for the
Trev's boo made me jump a little bit.
Oh, this.
Mm-hmm. As intended,
wow.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a good thing he hasn't released a deal to die for, because he'd be traumatized.
Bam.
Very original, Chris. Very original, Chris. Never heard that one.
I don't know what else you expect from us.
You never have.
I don't. I expect everything lesser. Honestly.
Top oof. Anyways, welcome to our Spooktober podcast. Where it's spooky and it's October.
Yeah. October 2020. Halloween 2020.
The whole 2020 year has
Today
been
we'll be
Halloween.
talking.
You mean cancel edition?
This is true.
Oh my goodness.
This year, Halloween is going to be a digital event, guys. It's going to be great.
We're gonna send virtual candy. We can now send food over the internet, guys.
Virtual Reese's? Let's go.
Ew.
Okay, now I'm thinking of like, you guys ever watch like the really old, was it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Where like they had the TV thing, like it'd send candy bars like across TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we get on that?
I forget what that's called. It's something O-Vision.
Wonka-Vision.
Wonka-Vision.
Wonka-Vision, that's right.
There we go. Like it's just Wonka and then whatever the thing is at the end.
Yep,
kind of works
that's
out
about
quite
as smart
nicely.
as they could get it back in the 90s. Was that when that released? Or the 80s? I can't remember.
Something like that.
Maybe
Just
the
quick
listeners can tell us. We'll find out.
So I guess we'll take a mini quick tangent here. So, are you doing something for Halloween, or are you doing like me and just using Halloween as an excuse to walk around in costume and have nobody ask questions?
I know my work is doing a costume contest. I'll probably just go as something. I don't know yet.
Do the coach
She
again.
goes
I want to see you go as the gym coach.
I don't have the mustache this year.
You got to start growing it then.
Oh,
Yeah, because I can grow it in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's a piece of cake.
Well, Trev, what are you doing then?
Yeah.
Well,
doing?
what I'm doing. I don't really have any plans. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna hang out with my roommate.
You finish a horror film?
I would like to. I mean, you'll be hearing something about that this month. I can kind of say
but Halloween is canceled, so we won't be hearing anything then.
that you're stretching. You're stretching, man.
No.
All right.
How about you, Marcus? What are you up to?
Well, you didn't
I'm
hear
going
what
to be the
I was
basic-
doing. I just said
You said you're hanging
basic
out with
adult, I'm
roommates,
just
not
gonna be
releasing
working,
horror
that's
films.
it.
Go for it, Marcus.
this is
You're just working,
disappointing.
Marcus. You could like work and wear something if you wanted.
No, I'm just gonna be the basic adult working my job, and if I see somebody, I'm just gonna spray them with chlorine and bleach.
Oh.
There's your candy for today.
Y'all are so lame.
Cynical
Like,
people.
I'm working on
You didn't let me
a replica
finish.
of Master Chief's armor.
You didn't let me finish.
That's fine.
I
I
said
tried
Fine, you
I
can go ahead and
said I
finish
was
with
going to
your
try
roommates
and
lack of
dress
horror
up.
films.
I don't know if I'm going to dress up because I don't know how many people around campus are actually going to dress up. But I was planning on doing a certain character from a certain graphic novel series I'm a fan of.
Spider-Man.
No.
If you dress as Homelander, I will punch you.
No.
He's
Uh,
dressed as Peter Parker again.
I was planning on dressing up as Tintin, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. I need to actually get all the
let's
clothing
work this
parts for it. I was gonna like cut my hair just like the character and everything, but everything this year has been so up in the air. I guess my Halloween costume is going to suffer the same fate.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I don't know. I'll go as Indiana Jones. I got a fedora. I don't care. I look like the most.
I
look
figured
like
you would.
What is it? I look like the most of Harrison Ford out of everybody here. So.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean,
So
you guys did see my face swaps earlier today, so you know what's up.
we don't talk about
we
those.
don't.
All right, so
I feel
we're,
like
just
you need to
gonna put
post
you
this to
on
Twitter
mute.
for actual context.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it right
I'll
now.
do it right
Nope.
now.
All right, Chris, take us away.
Yeah, okay. So I 3D printed the parts to make Master Chief's helmet from Halo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make the armor. So at the very least, I'm gonna try and walk around with a helmet. Worst case scenario, I'll give up on those dreams and just wear my Doomslayer helmet. That's pretty much.
You're gonna try and recreate that meme of what is it? It's at the college graduation. The woman goes Spartan, and then Master Chief walks up on stage.
Wait, what? That was a
Oh
thing?
my
I'll have to
goodness.
send it to you later. It's
No
I
way.
saw
I gotta
I've
see
seen
that.
it before,
I
but
gotta see that
it popped up on my Twitter feed the other day. It got a good chuckle out of me.
That's funny.
But here's the thing, though. When we go to Brick Fair,
No.
we all sing the Halo song in the bathroom.
Oh,
I'm kidding. That's cliche.
No, we are not.
What
I am
you guys
tone
really
deaf.
need to do is y'all need to play Halo, including you, Marcus, because even though you don't like space games, this one's an exception that you're going to
Space
make.
games
His friends play Halo.
Space Jam? Did I hear Space Jam?
We're on so many tangents. Speaking of the forced segue earlier, that was my Homelander comment. We got a couple of news items. So this article from Brickfilmers Guild, Brickfilm clip produced by Akash Jones featured in Amazon's hit TV show The Boys.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So the Amazon hit TV show The Boys recently featured a 20-plus second stop-motion clip created by Canadian brick filmer Akash Jones of Akash Lego Productions. One of the characters from the show, Ryan, shows Homelander in Stormfront his Lego animated version of The Blind Side, one of his mom's favorite movies. Which I think is just really cool that they just included brick filming out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's I've been watching this show very recently with a friend of mine, and it's a really good show.
It is.
It's a very mature show. So be forewarned. But like, when I heard that when I heard Akash said something on Twitter about like being a part of the upcoming episode for whatever week he was talking about, and I was like, how are they incorporating this? Like, is it actually going to be like stop motion? Is it going to be Lego? Like, what does this mean? And sure enough, just mid-episode, you see one of the characters, as Chris said, he recreated a scene from The Blind Side out of Lego. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's so cool.
Well, I guess they
It
kind
really
of...
is quite fun.
I mean, I guess they kind of explain in the show why animation, kinda, I guess. But, no, I was really surprised to see it in there. I was
At the
actually
risk of a
really
minor
happy.
spoiler.
It's nice to see Lego animation shown in, like, mainstream media.
We're going
Even though we have, like,
guys.
Even though we have, like, the Lego Movie 2, that's it.
Wow.
Lego Ninjago movie.
Throwing that much shade, I see.
Shade.
Guys, don't forget the Lego Ninjago movie. One of the things I used to start countless civil wars in the Ninjago community.
We love ourselves a good civil
Hey,
war,
guys gotta
don't
make
we?
a living.
Oh yeah, Chris's daily
I'm-
facts, Ninjago, are what are keeping me alive at this point. I don't even like Ninjago, but they are very nice.
They're very funny. They are very funny.
Oh my gosh. So quick backstory on that. I found out that I've gotten to the point in my life now where I can post virtually anything on Twitter and have a line of people in the Ninjago community waiting to crucify me. Like, there's a handful of people who have been perpetually annoyed by some of my tweets, and very deliberately. One artist named, she goes by Speedy within the Ninjago community. She has threatened to beat me up behind Denny's. I don't even know why behind Denny's, but I think she wants me dead now. So that's how I knew I peaked.
Did you
We
did
prefer
you post
IHOP.
a fun fact already today? I don't remember.
Oh no, I posted one last night. I'm kind of done. I'm tired.
No, we gotta have one for this stream, please.
I mean, to be fair, Chris, Denny's is a nice place to fight because nobody really goes there unless it's like 2:00 in the morning. And
Yeah,
are drunk,
I hop in Waffle
so-
House are the
Okay.
places to go for
That is
breakfast
fair.
food at 2 a.m.
If you want to
Come on.
I mean, this is
Everyone
going to be
does
like...
this.
No one goes to Waffle House.
Sam, no, we're not going down this train. We're not
What?
doing
No, we're
that.
going down this train. We gotta go down this train.
I mean, it is a spooky
No.
episode, so we might as well talk about some spooky topics. If you were to want to
Yeah,
murder
let's talk
someone,
about murder,
go behind
guys.
Denny's.
Hmm.
No witnesses. Anyway, welcome to the Frame100 podcast, where we just talk about stuff that Sam's gonna have to cut out of the podcast later on. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Sam, I feel like with this wealth of knowledge
love
you have, you're obviously scripting Homelander. Just saying.
Yep.
Do it
I'm just
again.
gonna go down one
Sam
quick
has
little
been one of
tangent.
the screenwriters from the start. He's been going by a pen name, and he's stolen somebody else's alias.
It's Ham.
Well, the thing is,
Footney. Ham Footney.
Ham Food.
The name.
Yeah.
Sam
What?
Foodney.
I hate that so much.
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, I'll quickly cover some questions, and then we'll go from there. So our first one is from our good friend Gary Moore. Hashtag Frame100 podcast. What's the process you use when editing the show? What audio effects do you apply? And how much of it is you manually cutting things out / cleaning stuff up? And do you make notes with time codes while recording to know what to cut? So what it sounds like is that Gary wants insider information on our podcast. We didn't get him an NDA in time, but I'm sure we can answer.
Well, I mean, do you want me? I guess I'm the one who has to answer this.
You're the one who
it.
edits all the audio, so it makes sense that you talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. So I use Audition to edit. It's a good way to like. I haven't really worked with Audition before, so it was a good baptism by fire type moment. We don't really cut a lot out. I mean, unless it's like topics that are very, like, I'll say stuff sometimes that probably shouldn't be said. Trev will say some stuff that doesn't need to be said. We just say stuff.
What? All right,
Because we'll
whatever.
just randomly
No, I'm not
use
trying.
a curse word.
I'm not, yeah, I was gonna
Everything
say,
I say is perfect.
if I've never had to cut anything Chris has said. He's the only person in the podcast I've never had to cut,
Wow.
and
I have a
it's
silver
very
tongue?
impressive.
You just have to cut stuff from what I say because it's done to spite me. You know.
Yeah.
I think
No,
I
actually,
think
half
everybody
of
knows
what we
that by
do,
now.
though.
It's not bad. I mean, we have Trev, who is the perfectionist of the group, keep track of blemishes in the audio track. So he just types down what time.
Yeah, it's usually just like if if like I can hear a background noise on somebody else's end, or if something happens on my end and it's like super distracting, we'll
Or
we'll
if
make
we,
sure to clean it up a little bit.
Or if we stumble over each other like we did a few minutes ago. You guys won't hear it because I edited it out. Gang, gang.
Hey,
That's how good we are.
But it's
Magic.
not. I mean, a lot of the stuff I do, it takes like. I think the hardest part for me is lining it up, but it doesn't take that long. Really, altogether, it takes maybe like 2 hours to kind of line everything up and get it edited and ready to go. The thing that takes the longest is we're all on different schedules. And it's hard for all of us to listen to the podcast and get edits. So if you hear anything in the podcast that probably could have been edited out, we're sorry. But
we're doing the best we possibly
we're doing the best we can.
And also, too bad, deal with it.
Exactly.
So I hope that answers your question.
Wow,
If it
Chris,
doesn't,
jeez.
follow me on Twitter at Locker74, and I will answer questions the best I can.
Yeah, everybody go spam him in the DMs. Ruin his DM.
Hit
for
me
us.
up with the DMs.
Okay.
Anyway,
You heard it here, ladies
Sorry.
and gentlemen.
DMs. All right.
Well, with that, we can move on to the next question here. Apocalypse Dareth, aka Apocalypse Pants, says hashtag Frame100. Thoughts on Neon Genesis Existential. I think he's trying to say Evangelion, but it's something pretentious or whatever.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yes.
Evangelion. Yeah.
Thank you.
AP, I'm gonna be fully honest.
I think three
I
of
have
us are
no
going to be
idea.
fully honest. Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. I have zero idea what that is. Is it an anime?
Yes.
It's an anime.
that's
Never
why I
seen
don't know
it.
what it is. That's why I
know
don't
it
know
has
what
a
it
very
is.
big following. That's
Okay,
about
on a scale of Sword Art Online to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where does it fall in between?
it. Learn us up, Marcus.
so I never actually finished the anime. I watched the movies instead because the movies were so much better, and I'm still waiting for the fourth.
Oh, they're still making more?
Yeah, I've been waiting for 8 years now
Oh.
because the director, I don't remember the director's name. I'm not a big fan, obviously, as you can tell, but I know the director was actually working on like Godzilla.
Oh.
That's why.
Was it like one of the live action ones?
I don't know. It's like Godzilla Shin or something, I think.
Oh,
I know they've done like a bunch of, they've done like the live action ones. There's like a bunch of anime ones they've done. I know there's a new one that Netflix just announced recently.
What was it Godzilla Shin? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Who? Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So it was an anime.
Yeah, it's an anime.
Okay.
No, not Godzilla Shin. Godzilla Shin is a live action. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
See, I'm not into anime, never really have been, and I'm not knocking people who are, but I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't answer your question. I've never heard of it, so hate me.
So for those of you who don't know what Neon Genesis Evangelion is, I'm just gonna put it in a very short synopsis. It's not really a synopsis, but like sort of logline. So it's basically about a bunch of teenagers who have to get in giant robots and fight against these aliens that come to Earth. Either come to Earth or they're from Earth. One of the two. I don't remember which one. But the long version of the story is that Shinji, our main character, is a teenage high schooler, middle schooler, I think he's high schooler, a high schooler who's super depressed, and his dad is like leader of this agency, and he's like forcing him to get into this robot, or else he's gonna make this like crippled girl do it. And so that's basically the first episode. I don't remember much, but that's basically it. Like it's a good show. It's just not for me. There's like a lot of like biblical references, and the show talks about, well, not talks about, but like the director, I forgot his name. I apologize, but like when he was making this show, he was like super depressed, and it just shows throughout the film. But I also remember that like in the last episode or something, the anime ran out of budget, and so literally the final episode was everybody, all the characters, even dead ones, surrounding the main character, just clapping, saying congratulations, you did it. And yeah, that just like, I wasn't interested in that. And then my friend told me about the movies, like just watch the movies, don't watch the anime. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. But of course, it's been 8 years since I watched the last movie. So I might rewatch the anime and give it another go since it's on Netflix. And same thing with the movie. All I'll just say, like, it's really depressing, yo.
No.
Man, there's some like
Wait. On a scale
like, actually
from Wall-E to the end of Flags of Our Fathers, how depressing is it? Because Wall-E is super depressing. And I mean
like
super
you mean
depressing.
that like Disney movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
How is
hate that
Wall-E
movie.
super depressing?
It is so depressing.
I've never seen the other one, so
Oh, Flags. Did I say Flags of Our Fathers? I meant. I forgot what I meant. God.
So,
Well-
in conclusion, on a scale of Ratatouille, which is pretty upbeat and happy and everything goes great and the best Pixar movie ever, to walking out of the theater of Cars 2, realize that you wasted your time and your soul and you'll never get those 2 hours back, where does Neon Genesis Evangelion fall?
if Cars 2 was a 10 of bad, I would put it at like a 7. 7 out of 10 bad.
Okay.
On this vague scale, that's totally fine.
Like you know what happened in the ending? They ran out of budget.
Oh.
They ran out
So
of
they had
budget
to,
to the point where like
And I can
they ran out
relate
of
to
so
that.
much money to the point where like the final episode. You know what happened in the final episode? Literally, all the characters just clapped their hands for the main character and said, "Congratulations, you did it. We don't know what you did, but you did it."
Wow. That's
It,
man.
and it was like,
Wow.
what? It was like the biggest BM ever. But no, the movies are 10 times better. Way better.
Well, I hope that answers your question, AP. I don't know if it did.
If it prompts any more questions, we'll fail to answer those too.
Yeah.
If you ask any more anime questions, we're just gonna respond with the same thing because I think I know one anime I know a single anime.
Okay.
It's,
Well, what anime is it? I'm curious.
like, I know the name of it. What, Dad? I know the name of it, but
Even
I don't.
Ned is.
It's like is it One Piece
Oh yeah,
Pirates?
One Piece.
with the stretchy pirate?
Yes, that is a good anime. Yes.
I think Ned over there is a big weeb. She's very angry. No, Ned, your waifu is not laifu. Gosh.
Yeah, let's pause here just so we can
In an
let him
attempt to-
come back.
Oh no, we gotta keep this.
Oh.
Just gotta talk over Ned
We're
barking.
just gonna talk over Ned. Okay.
All right, and that's how I commit tax evasion. Hey Sam, you're back.
Well,
So okay, yeah. When it comes to anime, on my end, I've watched a lot of Ghibli movies, but
what?
I've not
Studio
watched.
Ghibli.
I've not watched any shows. The only show that I actually sat down and forcibly decided to watch was the first 4 episodes of the Castlevania anime that was on Netflix, and then I kind of forgot about it entirely. So
I heard that one was okay.
I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard good and bad about it.
It's pretty great. And it's definitely small scale,
Mhm.
definitely more mature.
Yeah, like
What
other than
I
that,
dare
that's,
recommend-
that's it. That's all I've really watched. I don't think Avatar applies as an anime. I know there's been
I
plenty
was
of
actually
people
going to ask
debated
that
about that.
if
No,
we talk
I-
Avatar was
It
an anime.
counts.
Does Pokemon count as an anime? The answer is yes.
Actually, yes, I have watched plenty of Pokemon. I have allowed myself to watch that.
But does Shrek count as an anime?
Yes, it does.
Guys,
There's a
100%
beach
we're on the
episode,
same
so
page.
therefore it does.
Talking about the denomination of anime versus animation could be a whole discussion on its own, and I think the
But
whole
we don't have
debate
time
between
for
the
that.
two is stupid. So yeah, exactly. We are moving on from that.
This is literally the worst
My
episode
goodness.
we've had. So
Well,
far.
here, I'm gonna do a segue. We're gonna do Frame100's best segue yet. Are we ready?
No.
We're gonna transition from anime to spooky. And you know what's kind of a spooky anime if you really think about it? Death Note.
Okay, Death Note was good.
Death Note is great, but wow, it's heavy.
Chris is a weeb
And
confirmed.
we're not talking about, you know, find a girl on screen, call her your waifu, and call it a day. No, it ain't any of that crap. No, we're talking about the moral dilemma between the power to take a life versus the justice system, all combining in this cat and mouse game between 2 characters. It is pretty crazy and spooky. All right, best segue ever. Can I get an audience score? Let's go.
9.
3?
I'll take it.
3. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 3.
Trevor, we're not friends
I've done
anymore.
better. Sorry.
10 out of 1,000.
See, this is why...
Rough
Never mind.
crowd.
Man.
I feel like Marcus
Rough
is my
tonight.
favorite, but Marcus moved down to about, like, on a scale of Homelander
We gotta
to
stop talking about these scales, man. God.
Marcus. Marcus is pretty close to Homelander now.
Pretty soon, everybody's just gonna be talking about the podcast on a scale of Tom to Johnson. Like, gosh, we can't
On a
go
scale of
down
A
that
Deal
road
to
again.
Die For... I'm kidding, I'm done.
All right. So, Chris, you want to transition us into our next topic? I don't know what our next topic
No,
is.
I'm going to because I know what we're talking about next, and it's
okay, good call.
so in
You said
in
he's a 3 out of 10.
oh well. So in the vein of spooky, because we're spending the whole rest of the month kind of being spooky for October. We forgot to mention the results for the Fright and Fear contest, so we just wanted to kind of run through the top 3. Maybe say a couple words here and there about them. But other than that, we were just gonna kind of run through them and talk a little bit about them. Chris, do you have the list pulled up? Because I think you were.
Yes,
gonna
I do.
introduce them. Cool.
Yeah, so mid-September, Brickfilmers Guild put down a quick recap of all the entries. So thanks again, Brickfilmers Guild. Bricks in Motion has announced the winners of the 2020 summer contest, Fright and Fear. The winners were announced on the BIM Discord room by Sebastian Segura. The top 10 are We only really have time to talk about the top 3 here. So we got first place is Isolation by SurfSmurf778. Second place is Justified by Osam Studios. And third place is A Bump in the Night by Locker74 Productions.
Hey, I know that guy.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, that guy's a total hack.
Wow.
He's a shameless artistic hack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
But,
I mean, yeah.
There's a ton of great entries that I saw. Like,
We
are. I confess I'm slightly biased because I know one of the people, so I kind of really liked his film a lot. But honestly, there were a lot of great entries here.
Really, yeah.
Everyone did a fantastic job, and I got to see many of them behind the scenes as they were being developed, and it was just a blast. So good job, everyone who entered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely say that the top 3 that placed in the top 3 were, there. Like they were definitely the scariest, I think, of the entries that were submitted. Because I know a lot of people went the comedy route, which I totally get that because comedy and horror very much lend themselves to one another. But I was really excited to see some horror stuff because it's kind of what I'm trying to do right now myself. But so
Don't make us make the joke.
it was
Trev.
I took the joke from you, okay?
And that's the scariest part.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I loved the top 3 entries. Isolation did actually make me jump at one point. The good jump scare in there. Like the atmosphere in that one a lot. The aesthetics in Osam's video were amazing, and then I just love Sam's. Like the style of Sam's is just, I love it. I'm also biased there though, because I did help him out a lot with it.
It ain't no Ace Brickman, but it'll do.
It'll do.
But it ain't no Dr. Scar.
So I don't really want to talk about mine very much because we've already dedicated almost a whole episode to my stuff. So
Yeah, we talked about you too long.
I mean, yeah,
I
basically.
want to say this though. I think if Gary Moore had taken his winning Brawl entry and entered in this contest, I think it would have done really well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Hypotheticals.
Because for a second, I got super confused. I thought he entered that for this contest, but he actually entered it for Brawl. And I'm sitting here thinking, whoa, that would have been a strong contender here.
Very true.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that one was legitimately scary to me. It's like, yeah.
That one did actually freak me out at a couple parts, which is crazy.
It's got the right creep factor. I'll say that. But...
And anything with adventures anywhere in it, like The Mummy or anything like that, I'm sold. I'll watch it.
Oh God, I need to change the A Deal to Die For script now, don't I?
I'm already not going to watch it, Trev.
Oh wow, I really appreciate your support. Not that I was
Due to
looking,
Die
not
For
that I
has
was
already
looking
been
for
released,
yours
guys.
individually.
Come on.
I was looking for everyone else's support but yours, Sam. I hope you know that.
Well, you should be used to it by now.
I am used to it by now. Anyway, let's move on. Actually, Marcus, did you have anything to say about the 3 entries?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Congratulations,
Well,
everybody
one
that got the
last
top
minute
3.
thing.
Yeah,
And
great work
good
to all the
job for-
people. Great work to all the people that
Yeah.
submitted.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Indeed.
a lot of good entries. Proud of all of you guys.
Keep
That's all
up
I
the
got.
good work. Now go submit to Septemberfest because I guess that's the big contest on the market right now.
It's true.
Yep. As of now until October 31st, you still have time to enter into Septemberfest.
Got a couple weeks.
Make a brick film. Get your parrots out of a trash can. Repeat the same 3 in-jokes, and you could win fabulous prizes.
Exactly.
Wow. All
I
right.
feel like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So, since we're doing Spooktober, or was it Spooktoberfest?
Spooktober.
Spooktober.
Ooh.
Spooktoberfest.
Spooktober.
Fest is just too extra. I'm sorry.
That's true. We don't want to be too extra on the Frame100 podcast.
Oh yeah.
As if we already
heresy.
weren't already. Let's talk about Halloween movies. I don't know if we want to get into horror because I feel like some people don't like horror, some people do.
yeah.
Let's just talk about Halloween movies in general.
Well,
So it can be
yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like
I
it doesn't have to be a horror movie.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Anything that kind of resonates with spook.
Yeah, I think like
So what I'm saying
we
is
want to
that-
kind of spin this in a way where we're talking about what makes horror movies work for us. Sort of like what has to be done with the characters, the themes, the narratives of everything. Because I think those are like really important details to making a horror film work.
Well, what I need to quickly say is that the very first thing you should do if you want to make a film have a spooky atmosphere is make your spooky film, make your cool action-based sequel, and then stop. Alien and Terminator. I'm going to throw down some facts on you. Alien is a great small-scale scary movie in space. Terminator is a great small-scale scary movie in a city with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The second one of each series, Aliens and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, realizes that it can't be scary again because you know what a xenomorph is and you know what a Terminator is. So now you know what they are, let's just shoot all of them. And that becomes a great action sequel that becomes really well beloved. And then the third one, Terminator Rise of the Machines, Alien 3, realizes it can't do anything and will set the path for all the other sequels following to be a dumpster fire.
I didn't think that Salvation was that bad.
Salvation's like the Neil Breen of Terminator movies. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, go check out our old episode on Neil Breen when we talked about him a bunch.
Absolutely.
That hurt, Chris. That hurt.
But for real though, like the scene where Christian Bale, because I have a hard time believing that's John Connor. I just keep seeing Christian Bale puts down a boombox with Guns N' Roses and hijacks a Moto Terminator. It's cinema gold.
I still need to watch it.
Watch it like the same way you would watch The Room or I Am Here ... now.
See,
because here's the thing. Maybe this is our opening clause here. You can't make something scary repeatedly. And I know as soon as we get into more of the Halloween topics, I'm going to throw in a spicy hot take, and Trev's going to disown me. So we'll wait on that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can start talking about... Mine's not necessarily horror. Mine's like, again, Halloween. Because I don't really like horror, quote unquote. This is going to be really weird, and I'm sorry you guys had to hear this, but dude, the Disney Channel Halloween movies were fire. They were so...
Yes.
I just watched one the other
agree.
day. I watched My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I loved it. I will say, Lizzie McGuire's dad as a vampire hunter doesn't sit well. Just doesn't. But that one, Phantom of the Megaplex, slaps so hard. It actually, I watched it when I was in grade school. And I watched it the other day and I got chills. I still got chills from it. Like I was legitimately creeped out because it just was as creepy as I remember. It just was so good.
And you're 24 now?
I'm going to be 25 in January. That is right, Trev.
This is all right.
So that's the scariest
I'm not
part.
I'm not judging.
And then the
all
last one I want to talk about is Halloween Town.
Yes,
Dude.
let's go.
Halloween Town. I think me and Jared watched it. We talked about it the other day. It is very cringy.
Oh,
All
it's
of
super
them
cringy.
are very
yeah.
cringy.
They're all so.
But what
They're all so
saves
cringy.
them, what saves them for me, is the practical makeup effects. You don't see a lot of CG, like special effects in it. Dude, I remember watching that and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a warlock. And then I'm like, oh, the warlock's a bad guy, never mind. But the scene in the first one, in the movie theater, with the dude in the robe, like Emperor Palpatine, if he, was Emperor Palpatine, where he's like doing, like, swaying his head back and forth and talking, that gave me nightmares as a kid. I watched it again the other day. It still creeps me out. It's still, like, but that'll be mine. And then, I like classic horror movies. I like Halloween, like the original Halloween movie. The second one's okay. And then I liked Aliens, or Alien, like Chris said, and I really like Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. But I think that's as far as I'll go. As after like those, none of them really are. I'm not really into it because it just gets too gory, and I'm not into gore. Never have been. And I get scared easy. As you guys can tell, I was scared by a Disney Channel movie a couple days ago. So
I'm happy that I know this knowledge now. I know how to keep Sam awake at night.
all 120 subscribers of our YouTube channel now know how I feel.
Exactly.
Welcome, guys.
Piggybacking off of what Sam said, I myself have also not watched that many horror movies. The only three
And he's
that come
doing
to
a horror
mind,
movie.
I know, right? Yeah. The only three
But
that
does it have the horror elements?
exactly. Well, that's what I wanna dive into a bit here. The only three. Well, actually, I guess now it's four technically. Although this one kind of falls into what Chris mentioned with the you make your first one, you make the action-packed sequel, being The Shining, and then its follow-up Doctor Sleep, which is exactly as Chris explained it. The first one's very creepy. It's super slow and like chilling, and it just kind of like gives you goosebumps. And then the second one is very action oriented. You've got a lot of stuff with people fighting each other and like mind games and everything. And then the other two horror films I've seen being The Host, which is a creature feature film by Bong Joon-ho, the director of last year's Parasite, which was
Wait,
the big Oscar winner.
Did you say The Host or just Host? Because
The Host. Because there's like one that's based on a book, and then there's Bong Joon-ho's.
Oh
one.
no!
Is it The Host like with like really really bad? Not the Parasite dude.
No.
The other one.
No.
Wasn't it
It's
like?
based on a book by Stephanie Meyer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so it is
I know
bad.
this because
It's really bad.
Continue,
yeah.
sir. I'm
Your
sorry.
Movie Sucks did like a 3-part review of that movie. It is laughably horrid.
I remember my
Just saying.
fifth grade teacher read that book to us in class, and then I didn't know that they made a movie about it until like
How's your
4
teacher
years
not
after it came
fired?
out. So
Anyway, sorry, Trev. Didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to
Oh,
make
no,
sure
you-
we were talking about the
Yeah,
good
no,
one
I-
and not the teenage heartthrob show. So continue.
no, I
Vince.
I totally get that because it's always confusing when movies have either the same or similar titles. But no, it's a creature feature, and it's like. It's really well done. That one it made me jump a few times seeing it in the theater. And then the other one, which was technically, I guess, the first horror film I can really remember having watched, that's actually a horror film, being A Quiet Place, which I actually love that movie. The way that movie plays with sound is just, it's so good. So good. And I'm very excited for the second one if it doesn't get delayed again. Because I'm remembering, oh my god, that was supposed to come out last month. Oh, the pain.
You might as well get used to it, man.
I know it's hard getting used to it, man. Batman got moved. It hurts. Yeah, I think actually, if we're gonna talk about elements of horror film that I think make horror films work, the sound is I personally think that the sound is the most crucial element of a horror film, specifically. Other genres can kind of get away with having faulty sound, but you really have to focus on the way that a horror film is mixed, because leading a character down a dark hallway when all the sound is very, very, very loud, and then it getting softer and softer and softer until there's nothing, and then boom, you have your big jump scare, or your big reveal or whatever. That's what I think. That's what makes or breaks a lot of moments within horror films, which is very evident in A Quiet Place.
I don't entirely agree.
Chris, rebuttal me. I
will rebuttal.
I want to hear your argument, and then I'm going to rebuttal it.
I think Terminator is a good example, because the first one is very much a cat and mouse chasing game. I think what makes Terminator scary, and a lot of people have commented on this, especially in contrast to the newer Terminators, is all in the presence of the T-800. Because you repeatedly see Arnold that nothing is able to stop him, and the only time that he is momentarily stopped, all his flesh is now gone. He's a metal skeleton that moves really jankily, I guess.
Mhm.
Janky. I don't know what the word would be.
He's not in good
But,
shape.
I don't remember Terminator for sound design. Really, I only remember just the theme music. That dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. But what really makes that one kind of terrifying is just his sheer presence and the way that they keep building up that you cannot stop this dude. And the only way that they're able to stop him at all is with a big dramatic play that tests absolutely everything that the movie has set up so far. So I don't think it's a make or break, because I don't remember much of the sound design in Terminator at all. but at the same time, I remember just the sheer presence of the T-800 was enough to make me go, oh my goodness, this guy's a serious deal.
See, you say that, but I think that I can definitely think of a couple parts within Terminator that are really good sound design wise. Being
I'm not saying it's like lacking good sound design, but
Oh,
that's
no,
not
yeah.
scary.
that's
That's
like,
not the make or break.
the like super clamory and like jarring sound that's within like the whole final act, the whole final showdown. I think that really helps to like lend a lot of the what's the word? A lot of like the high intensity emotions to the story. Granted, everyone is open to their own opinion, so I totally get where you're coming from, Chris. I mean, personally, I don't see the Terminator as much of a horror movie. I guess that's probably where I'm seeing the disconnect. Because I'm very much thinking just like classic
generally
horror.
acknowledged.
Okay, yeah,
The first one is generally acknowledged as a horror movie.
that's
Again,
interesting.
similar vein compared to like Alien, but
Okay,
Alien definitely though it takes advantage of its sound design there.
Mhm.
But there are many other elements that you wrap around it that make it. Really
So then, that being said, would you argue that the characters are the most important part of a horror film? What do you think is what would you consider to be the most important element of a horror film?
I don't think there is one important element per se. I think you have to have multiple elements working together.
Fair, yeah.
I know one thing is novelty for sure. Again, Terminator, Alien, I'm going to throw Stranger Things into the mix. This is where my spicy take comes in.
No, I knew that's what you were going to say.
Here we go. Marcus, Sam, back me up here. So the first season of Stranger Things, you have a monster. The monster is legitimately scary because you can't see it for most of the time. And when you do see it at the very end, it's climaxed, they beat the crap out of it, and the scariness kind of goes away now because it's dead. But then the problem with the second season and the third season is that you can't show the same monster twice, so they tried to create new monsters that are basically very similar to the old monsters. Which doesn't work, because we know what the monsters are supposed to be like, and we're expecting the next few seasons are going to have more monsters. What the second one did, in a way, they kind of went that stereotypical 80s horror to 80s action route. Not nearly enough. In the third one, it suffers from Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, Alien 3 fatigue. Like, it falls right into the same trap there. So, you need novelty, you need presence, color is a good one, sound is absolutely a good one, but it's not like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what happens, if you don't have the aspect of novelty behind your idea, somehow, some way, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Okay. On your Stranger Things point, I actually do agree. I do agree. I don't think that the series suffers as much as like some people would argue it does, because I'm just in general I am a fairly analytical person when it comes to movies. Film school has done that to me. But for me, it's usually if I enjoy something, I enjoy something. I don't tend to usually look back on stuff that I just like and try to nitpick it for what it doesn't do well. I usually try and find stuff that I really, really, really love and try to find more reasons to like that even further. I think that's just kind of like what my mental does.
Sam, Marcus, weigh in.
Exactly. Go ahead. Stop. Make us stop talking.
All this time I was thinking, man, what was the latest horror thing I've seen? And then Stranger Things popped up. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, man. I remember when I first watched Stranger Things, at least the first season. I actually got it was like nightmare fuel for me because that Demogorgon thing was like, holy cow.
The Demogorgon is
I
so
agree
cool.
with Chris that it does. What do you call it? It does get watered down after you've seen it the first time. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, nothing new. But it's just like, they're trying to come up with new stuff. Hopefully, season 4, they'll have something. Well, I mean, we can't really have the same experience as we did at season 1.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't end up like Terminator Salvation or Alien Resurrection, we're all good. It's gonna go both those routes simultaneously, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
but we shall see.
I didn't watch this movie. I watched it in the movie theaters, the trailer for it. I think it was called The Nun.
Oh, I've heard of that, yeah.
Oh, that. I actually did not watch the trailer because I was so scared of that ghost lady thing, the nun lady thing. Oh my god. I literally covered my eyes and I just listened to the audio, and from the audio, I got scared.
Hey, we got another man in the audio camp. Let's go.
I was like, whoa. But when I just peeked a little, oh my god. No, I just couldn't.
There we go. We got the visuals crowd.
Well, okay, so about the Nun, I got a funny story. Whenever the trailer came out, I was up in Wichita and I was seeing, what was I seeing? I think I was seeing Deadpool 2, and I was seeing it with my brother and my friend Brett. And we were at the Warren 21, so we had recliners, and Hank had popcorn next to me, and it's the trailer where it's like, I don't know how to explain the trailer, but it's like they're in a dark hallway and they see like something floating, and like these people walk up to it, and then this nun walks behind him, walks like right in front of him, and they don't see him, and then they're looking at the thing, and you're expecting the thing to jump, and it came from the side, and I got showered with popcorn.
Misdirection.
I got showered with popcorn, and so when we saw it, Deadpool 2 again, but with my dad, Hank did the exact same thing to me.
Just to spite you.
I just want to let the audience, the listeners know that when Sam was describing the scene, I literally took off my headphones because I have a very vivid imagination.
Yeah.
so I literally just took off my headphones.
All you need to imagine is flying popcorn.
I would say back to my thing about Stranger Things. You guys know I wasn't hooked onto it until I think I tried it twice. And
yeah, it took a lot of convincing to get you.
Yeah, I know. It just, but see, the Demogorgon again was about the only thing that was freaky. Everything else, I wasn't. I mean, the one shot that scares me, and it still kind of scares me to this day, is that shot. Do they call it Mr. Dark? The big cloud-looking crab-looking thing that was in the upside down.
That's the Mind Flayer, yeah.
Mind Flayer, sorry. That's the only shot that actually.
Dark come from?
I don't know. Sorry.
No,
guys,
I'm not ragging or anything. It's just funny.
That was a nickname for someone else, I think.
Yeah,
but,
probably. What?
Like
Sam.
That's really the only shot that actually gave me chills. It wasn't because of sound design. It was legitimately a creepy shot. Like a really if I when
it was turning upside down?
No, like it was just walking. Like whenever Will was transported into the upside down. And I don't think it was creepy because of the sound. I think it's because I imagined if I saw that just in nature, just out in the distance, I would pee myself. And I think that's what happens with me. I don't think it's so much sound design anymore. I think it's just misdirection is what gets me most of the time. So
yeah. Well, that is another thing, like light and shadow. That's a very important and crucial element of horror, especially.
All right, film student, calm down.
Oh, shut up! You know me. Everyone here knows me. They know I'm gonna go.
You're
deep
right
into this.
though, Trev.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Alien, so many of those scenes are terrifying because everything's so bleak and dark, and a lot of the artwork is it's kind of atrocious. Like you would look at it and go, "This is like ugly." But then you look at the context of the scene, you're like, this is horrifying. I hate it. But it does his job, so who cares what you think?
Exactly. I actually have one last thing to mention before we shift topics one more time. So I do remember vividly when I was probably 11 years old. I remember being at my cousin's, and we were all watching The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. With Eddie Murphy, yeah! Which is a great movie. Great movie, but I love that movie so much.
I forgot to talk about that one. I like that one too.
Oh, it's so good. But I do remember when they go into that crypt and there's all the spiders everywhere. That stuff legitimately terrified me. I hated that scene so much. I've since rewatched it and I'm immune to it now. But But like I remember that was the stuff of nightmares for me back when I was actually probably younger. I was probably like 8 years old. I think I said 12 earlier. Yeah, no, I was probably closer to like 8 or 9. I hated that so much. So much. So like and I guess that's like that's like the really hard thing to kind of nail with horror is there's so many elements to it that are super hard to balance, and things just aren't going to hit with some people compared to others. I think that just is kind of par for the course with any film. Because some people are scared of crocodiles and they won't see The Crawl, but then some people just don't care and they'll go see it anyway and be completely unfazed. So,
well, it's like comedy. Not everybody laughs at everything, but there is an objective way to increase the probability of somebody laughing at something.
mm-hmm.
I think it's the same thing with horror. I gotta keep stressing this though, because I feel like this is one thing we keep circling back to. Novelty is the most important thing. I can only think of one example where it's the same thing over and over and over again, and it's still horrifying. The thing is, it's Doom. You're playing as the horror, and everybody else in the game is scared of you.
Of course he was going to mention Doom.
I have to, because not only that, but there are 2 movies that were based off of Doom. They both suck, and they both tried to go for, like, you know, alien-style horror. Like, small-scale space station, and, you know, they're trying to shoot the demons, but it's like, oh no, I can't handle it. Again, you don't have novelty on your side because you're copying Alien, and you don't have novelty on your side because everybody knows what the aliens from Doom look like. So you're automatically outgunned, literally, and you might as well go back to the original premise, which is flipping it in a way that the audience does not expect. I mean, I don't think it would be hard. Just play heavy metal for 2 hours and have a guy just murder every demon in the room. You would win all the awards.
So, if we can all list off a film that we would recommend for the viewers to watch this month, what would it be? I know I will say there's one film I did actually forget to talk about, another horror I've seen, An American Werewolf in London. That's film for me is so laughably horrible. The VFX in it the special effects in it are amazing. Like they're like industry defining special effects. But the plot and like the way it's executed is pretty iffy, but it's a very fun time, whether you actually really like it or you just kind of watch it for the stupidity. So that would be my suggestion.
I'll go. For anybody, if you have Disney Plus, Phantom of the Megaplex is pretty good. It's a Disney Channel movie. It's like I said, it's probably one of my earliest memories of like Disney Channel Halloween movies. Everyone would say Halloween Town, but mine's Phantom of the Megaplex. It's not. It's really good. So go. I can't explain anymore. Just go watch it. It's very cheesy. Keep in mind, but it's really good.
For mine, oh man, I remember this. I also got nightmare fuel from this. Jaws.
Oh, that is another good one.
How did we not talk about Jaws?
I'm amazed we didn't talk about that.
That was a classic. Oh.
The boat underwater.
Yeah. Oh my god, the boat underwater. Yeah, that was crazy.
I remember I saw that here at school for the first time. It was a packed theater. The only reason it didn't scare me was because I spoiled it for myself in a Watch Mojo top 10 back when I had a massive Watch Mojo phase.
Literal trash.
I haven't watched Watch Mojo in ages now, but
good call.
Hi, my name's Trev. Hi, Trev. And it's been a year since I watched Watch Mojo.
I'm a recovering addict. I'm sorry.
You should.
I haven't watched that stuff in like 3 years. Anyway, what about you, Chris?
As cliche as this might sound, I'm hesitant to really recommend anything super crazy because we do have a mixed audience. I will go with Stranger Things though.
Yeah,
I think the first season's really good. The second season's kind of fun, but if you watch it,
no. Oh god, we'll debate about this later.
I'm gonna go with first season for best. I mean, season 2 is
yeah,
really.
I can see that.
Okay, hang on. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a scale here. So, on a scale of horror to action, here we go again. If you want something that's more on the horror mystery end, the first season by far.
Yes.
If it's something on the more upbeat mystery action end, definitely season 2.
Yes.
If
We
you get
can
to
agree on
season
that, yes.
3, you will be disappointed. I'm just gonna throw that out
I
there.
hate you.
But I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's definitely a more accessible thing. I wasn't really freaked out by a whole lot of it. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it does give a very scary vibe if you're trying to understand like how the genre works.
it kind of drops the spookiness for scope and action, but the visuals in it are like really disgusting, and I think that's kind of what it like rests its like spooky laurels on. But we can debate about this at another time, because
Yeah, I'm not really feeling
this could
like-
be a whole episode. This might maybe we do this next week. Maybe we talk about this next week.
Say, I'm not really
That
feeling
might be
like
what we do.
debating.
It's too late into the show. So yeah,
Yeah,
what do
Trevor
we
and
have
I
for our
already clawed at each
TPQ
other.
tonight, boys?
So I got one. It's very basic, but I think
Oh.
it's pretty good.
Basic is fine.
So if you, what time period would you guys want to live in? But what would you guys do for a job since you can't do video or animation during that time? It can't be present. It can't be in the future. It has to be in the past. So like, I would probably want to live in the 50s, just because I like the 50s era. But I don't think
Never
you
would
could
have seen
do-
that coming.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. I think 50s, either 50s or the 20s would be cool too.
But what would you do?
That's the thing. I don't know. I think I would probably just be like a factory worker. I mean,
Wow, glitz and glamour. I see. Nice.
yeah, well, I don't think I could really do. I couldn't really be an insurance person, couldn't be a car salesman. I think the factory would probably be the easiest way for me to live, just because it's repetitive work, kind of like animation. It's the same thing over and over. It's like a routine. I think I could do that. I'm pretty boring,
That's fair.
so
We know.
do what you want with that.
You're selling yourself short. That's fair.
Teach their own.
Hmm.
Anyway, Trev, what do you got?
I guess for me, I would probably say, I think just because my parents very much raised me on like 80s, paraphernalia. Is that the right word?
Paraphernalia?
Paraphernalia. That's right. Yeah, considering my parents raised me up on like 80s music, 80s TV, 80s movies, I'd probably say the 80s. It's also like a fairly interesting time period just for the history of everything. But like for me, it would be I'd want to be working in the entertainment industry, because I think there's something that people always just gravitate back to with like 80s movies and 80s shows, 80s music. Which again, I guess is, what my parents raised me on. So yeah, I kind of to experience what they lived through, I think would be really neat. So that's my answer.
You got an answer, Chris?
I think I do.
Go
Would
for
we
it.
be allowed to do something that could possibly change the course of history?
This man out here is gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back and meet with Thomas Edison. Instead of making a light bulb, we're gonna do a time machine instead.
You know
Not
he made
quite.
cameras too, right?
Here's the thing. I was all going to say the future because,
I thought about that too.
well, okay. Yeah, because NASA's been pushing a lot of initiatives for manned moon missions. So one of the biggest ones being the Artemis program, which is going to have a sustained human presence on the moon from 2024 onwards. And that made me think, okay, space stuff. But Sam said no future, and inwardly I curse Sam. And so I'm thinking what I would do, I would go back to around, say, late 60s, working with NASA. So not only would I be able to be there for the Apollo missions, which would be just super cool to work on those, even in the background, but I would then try to use my skills and rise up to try and push the space program further. So by the time we get to the shuttle age, we're now at the point where space exploration is like cheaper, more feasible, and therefore kind of just rewrite the past 50 years. So space exploration is just a more common thing. Instead of like this big lull we had where NASA was basically like stripped of all funding and prestige. That's what I want to do. I think it'd be fun.
I like that answer.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, Marcus. Do it to it, Lars.
So, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off Trev's answer.
Hey.
I'm not in the 80s, but like around the 20s and 30s. Just because I want to see Charlie Chaplin's films.
Ah, I see.
But what would you do for a job?
Like probably work in film? Or are you saying I can't work in film?
You can work in film, but yeah, you can do film. You can do whatever you want. It's just no animation. You don't have animation. It's before
No
they
animation.
started doing
Yeah,
that
I would work in film. I would try to see like Charlie Chaplin get run over in real life and just fall in real life to his death. I know he didn't do any of that, but he did a lot of crazy stunts. That's what I would like to see. Work in film, be like, all right,
That would be
show
pretty
me.
legit.
I like that. I like that answer.
Show me your insanity.
You guys did a good job.
Marcus and I were 60 years apart, but yet we're still in the same industry. Interesting.
I mean, it works. So.
Oh yeah.
No, I like those
That's
answers.
out,
I've been
man.
holding on to that one for a while, just because I kind of like that.
Really?
I like to
Okay.
talk. Yeah, I like to talk to like about time periods with people. It's just a lot of different time periods. It'd be cool. My other second answer, I guess, would be I would grow up in the 1880s and be a cowboy. Twirl guns and
Oh, for like, oh man, when
Yeah.
did the Gold Rush happen? Like set up for the West?
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
What I would actually, the town I live in is like a cow town. So it was like it was
Yeah.
started in 1881. I think that'd be cool to like go back in time and actually see how it was founded, see what it was like. But I mean, we went through the most law enforcement out of any cow town in the Chisholm Trail, which was like 50-something law enforcement. So
Interesting.
don't be a sheriff, don't be a deputy, just be a dude.
Surprised that nobody said during
'Cause I shot
like
sheriff,
any of the
but I didn't
Chinese
shoot deputy.
dynasties, or like nobody said during like the what is it, the Marcus, why don't you want me to talk about that?
Controversial.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody said the Chinese dynasty, or like I'm surprised nobody said anything about the medieval time period, because like knight.
Oh, I can tell you why not the medieval time.
Well,
period.
it's disgusting,
Death.
but knights are cool.
bubonic
Knights are
plague.
cool.
I was gonna say dying.
Yeah,
in
but I don't want to
combat
die
or
when I'm,
dying
like,
at an
30.
early Age, but
I was gonna say,
you go to the plague route,
the
sure.
Black Plague, something like that. Death.
Well, like the average lifespan is like around 30 or so, and I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to live long enough to see Sleeper's new album. So
I'm living to
That's just
I'm
me.
living to 40. I've already been decided. 40's my checkpoint.
it's like the minute you hit 40 and roll out your 40th birthday, you're just like, I'm out, peace.
Being a Japanese
Yeah, basically.
samurai would have been cool too.
Actually, I'm just thinking I'm just gonna have a heart attack at 40. Be good.
I'm just gonna
But-
give up. Then I'm throwing in the towel. That's pretty
Yeah.
You
spooky.
gotta imagine like we're gonna be
Speaking
at Sam's 40th birthday, and we're gonna sing "Happy Birthday" to you. He's gonna blow up the candles. He's just gonna suddenly just vanish.
it's gonna be like on my
Where'd
on my
Sam
fact
go? What the
entry, it'd be
heck?
like blowing up the candles, and then suddenly Sam Futhy died because he was just tired of living, and it's just me on the computer just going ooh, and then falling backwards.
Somebody animate
Oh my
that.
goodness, are
Somebody
you
animate that.
okay?
Dude,
Death Note.
somebody animate that, please.
Death
Animate
Note.
that.
It all comes back. It all comes back.
Oh, I know. Trev, I know what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna animate that while you finish your horror film.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, please do.
Man,
All right.
I'm hoping to get some more work done on it, but we'll see. You'll hear something
Okay,
soon.
the Deal to
though,
Die
again.
For is based off hopes and dreams.
Speaking of ending things, Chris, you want to roll us on out of here?
End this.
Absolutely. I will roll us out with that 9 out of 10 segue. Thanks
Gang,
for listening
gang.
to this episode of the Frame100 podcast. If you have any thoughts on any of the topics we discussed today, please leave a comment or tag us on Twitter with hashtag Frame100. We'd also like to thank Lots of Toast for the awesome theme music. Please go check out his channel and support his work. If you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Until then, stay tuned for our next episode and keep brick filming.